a bit about things that happened this season in American Horror Story. Now, the Black Dahlia, which is a famous murder site, she was found
in a field.
In an empty field. And the murder has never been solved. Now, we saw some background or conjecture about it in the series this year, but the last time she was seen alive was at the Biltmore Hotel in downtown, now the Millennium Biltmore downtown, and her ghost has survived her. What is interesting is she has not returned to the site of the murder, because it's not believed that she was murdered in the hotel. There was nothing in any of the rooms that was found that would have indicated there was a murder in the hotel, but she probably met someone there. Her ghost still appears to this day in period costume, and what she was wearing at that time, that in the 40s, was in the lobby, in the elevators particularly, and her spirit is often seen leaving the elevator on the 6th floor. So it's surmised by ghost investigators and researchers that it's very possible that that's where she was meeting whoever was her murderer. Now, as Scott says, what happened in American Horror Story was a version, a takeoff on the actual legend. And that's one of the things that is wonderful about this series, is that they are taking actual elements of ghost lore, of existing tales that have been told through the ages, and are incorporating them through the series. For instance, even starting back in the pilot episode, you'll remember that the family dog immediately ran from them, went to the basement, looked at the door and started barking, where the family at that point had no idea that anything had taken place down there. Animals in general are much more sensitive than human beings to the spirit world. Modern ghost research, trying to explain what people have been claiming for centuries, to find out what are the answers, only started in the late 1800s. It started as a response to the spiritualism movement, when seances first really started as we know them today. And so far, they're trying to come up with a universal theory, but there really is none that they've come up with to this point. They also ask weird questions like, if a ghost is a return, and I'm using the vernacular word ghost as in spirit, if it is the returned soul or essence of a human being who was once alive, why does George Washington appear on a horse? Are you saying horses once had a soul? Why would the Flying Dutchman, the Phantom Boat appear? Are inanimate objects, how do they become ghosts? And they'll ask silly questions like, well, if a ghost is a living person who's come back, why aren't they naked? Was their clothing alive too? I mean, what, is that just part of the deal, that that's how we perceive them? So they try to come up with a universal theory, and all of it is experiences like that, where it's all anecdotal. You started out the tour with a drive through the cemetery.
Today we did, yeah.
Today, yeah. Did you by any chance point out where Bugsy Siegel was buried?
No, we didn't go that far right now.
Bugsy Siegel was a notorious gangster, mobster, and was involved with the founding of Las Vegas, actually, the Flamingo Hotel in Las Vegas. And he was gunned down by the mob in Beverly Hills on Linden Drive, I believe.
That's right.
Linden Drive, in the home of his mistress, Virginia Hill. And his ghost has come back to that home. Also has returned to the Flamingo. Now, those are two different types of hauntings. He's in Beverly Hills, which was the site of the incident, where his life was cut short, whereas the Flamingo was a place that he felt very much at home and very safe. And that's why he's returned to the Flamingo. Hauntings in general occur because of great emotion or great attachment to a place. I mean, it could be because either end of the swing emotionally, that they loved the place so much, they felt attached to it. It's one of the reasons why Marilyn Monroe's ghost returns to the Hollywood Roosevelt Hotel. But it can be the other direction, where there was either tragedy, or life was cut short, or a murder. In some cases, it may be the person may not know they're dead. In other types, they're trying to find a way to cross over. Probably of all of the ghosts that haunt Hollywood, Marilyn is, well, she gets around, let's put it that way. Her ghost is back in her home in Brentwood. It will appear by her crypt over in Westwood in the Hollywood Roosevelt Hotel. There's a famous story, if I can tell it very quickly. There used to be on display in the Roosevelt Hotel a haunted mirror that Marilyn's reflection would show up. If you're primping yourself in the mirror, she would appear over your shoulder looking into the mirror. And the hotel for about 15 years had a real good sense of humor on it. They put it on display in an area that on the opposite wall, they put a poster of Marilyn. So if you situated yourself just right with your camera, you could get a picture of yourself with Marilyn over your shoulder. As a rule, it seems that apparitions haunt venues, not people. So it's places that they were associated with in life. There have been rare occasions where a spirit will follow a person from place to place, but much more often it inhabits a location. Another one who used to get around a lot is Valentino. Oh. Rudolph Valentino, as a matter of fact, I'm sure you passed by the mausoleum here in the cemetery, which has been reported that he's appeared near the crypt, but also Falcon Lair, where he used to live, his home, and a couple of hotels. He had a getaway up near San Bernardino, a favorite hotel on the beach. He used to get away on weekends that people have reported him. And if you want to have a little possible encounter yourselves before you leave the cemetery grounds tonight, Virginia Rapp's ghost, who was the accuser of Fatty Arbuckle in their famous rape trial, she is buried here, and it's that her spirit sometimes appears over her stone that's in the ground. It's not an above ground headstone, but it's a flat stone. And also Clifton Webb, which all of you are too young to remember, as an actor, appears by his crypt, which is I believe it's someone from the cemetery, maybe able to tell me, I think it's Sanctuary of Peace, but it's the first mausoleum as you come through the gates all the way to your right, down one of the hallways. So maybe you might want to take a peek for yourselves and see something here tonight.
Thank you so much.